One goes home, Chicago! And don't worry, I'll have some speaks with that home plate umpire after the game. Ooh.
Angel Hernandez, you stink, and I don't like you!
Happy retirement, Angel Hernandez. Oh, and one final message for you.
Hasta luego, arrivederci, bon voyage, that means goodbye.
Hey guys, do you like shuffleboard?
That's a stupid question. Who doesn't?
Do you like the game Twister?
That's a stupid question. Who doesn't?
Well, I was going to say me because, I have, no physical ability and, yeah, I can't get this fake left leg to stand on a red dot or anything like that.
Okay, but do you like Jackpot?
Do I like Jackpot?
Yeah.
Bro.
I guess Chico just answered that for me.
I got a great idea. What if you combine Jackpot and shuffleboard?
Okay, sign me up.
I'm trying to figure out how this is going to make any sense. You know what? Throw in a chance to win $10,000 in a new car and you got yourself a deal.
And Greg's wavering on that. He doesn't want to give away the car or the $10,000.
He's thinking.
Yeah, I don't want to give away the car and the 10 grand.
Boy, you really are like Bob Stewart then.
I think we just need to play the open right now.
Yeah.
An anthology about the bad, the short-lived, and the forgotten shows and events in television history. This is It Was a Thing on TV.
Punisher! Control!
Hey, before I change my mind!
I give you Super Train.
Episode 476, submission number 2573. Twisters. Twisters was an unaired game show pilot from NBC in 1982. If YouTube is to be believed, it was October 23rd, 1982.
Which television game has 10 players
and shows you one half of the question
for $10,000 and a brand new car?
The answer is Twisters is right. And here's your host, Jim Perry.
Yes, indeed. Hello there. Thank you very much. That part, thank you. Thank you. And welcome to Twisters, the new game of surprise endings.
So this is it, the end of Pilot Month 2024, and we're ending it with a Bob Stewart joint. We love Bob Stewart on this podcast. I mean, Pass the Buck, Chain Reaction, Pyramid, Password, The Price is Right, Need We Go On. And he was always had a really good idea. Sometimes it would be a little too complex, but it would always be a really good idea. Such is the case on this pilot from 1982, which actually did air as part of a marathon special on Game Show Network back in the day. Produced by Bob Stewart, along with his son and production partner Sandy Stewart, and fellow production partners Bruce Burmester and Anne-Marie Schmidt. This show was pitched to NBC as the newest big game show event in a network that wasn't really asking for one. 10 players competing all week for big cash prizes and, if they were really good and really lucky, a new car. But they'd have to work for it because the 9 players in the gallery, each one represented by a number from 1 to 9, each had their choice of half a question. The host, Jim Perry, who I believe would have been a year removed from Card Sharks.
Yeah, because Card Sharks was canceled in 81.
And of course, announcing it all, the one, the only, Jack Clark. Good host, good announcer. How do you get to the money and or the card? I would like to introduce you to shuffleboard.
Why are you introducing us to shuffleboard? It was a component, a key component, mind you, in one of, well, maybe not our favorite shows, but a show that I dearly remember, Beat the Clock in 1979.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that.
And I got closure to a point. To a point, Greg.
Sure.
They still haven't shown like the penultimate and the third to last and fourth to last episodes. So there's still some closure that needs to be handled.
I'm sure that episode is still out there. Someone out there knows something. Before I get into too much of a Robert Stack moment, here's how the game is played. Using a giant shuffleboard, one player, designated the king or queen of the hill, would slide a puck so that it rebounds off of the back wall and then to the front wall and then back to the back wall. And wherever it stops, the player in that number would stand up and be presented with 2 half questions. And as Jim Perry, the host, would love to say, those questions could twist one way or the other. For example, I'm going to use the example in my Zoom background right now. I would stand up. I'd get 2 halves of a question. I would pick this question. What natural disaster? And then Jim Perry would read the rest of the question. Did Philip Seymour Hoffman dodge in a 1990s movie? And of course, the answer would be
Twister.
Or a tornado. Either one is fine. But the point of it is to score that many points off of a countdown scoreboard, which starts at 40 and goes down for every correct answer. It gets weirder. If ever the puck would stop at the last digit of the countdown scoreboard, like if it was a 6 and it stopped at a 6 because there were like 5 columns of digits 1 through 9 on the shuffleboard. If it stopped at a 6, that was a chance for an instant win for both player number 6 and the king or queen of the hill. But they would have to answer 2 Twisters questions. But instead of trying to fool the king of the hill, they were working together. They wanted to give you a question that you thought your partner could answer. Because you don't want to be in the gallery. You want to be the king or queen of the hill because they have a chance to win all the money. Not only do they have a chance to win all the money, there are red zones in between each of the columns. And if the puck stops there, you would be playing for a car. Now, in the pilot that exists on YouTube, and again, thanks to Wake Martindale's channel on YouTube, that scenario did not play out.
Oh.
Whenever the countdown scoreboard reached 0, whoever the puck landed on would come and be the partner, and they would have to answer 2 questions. And if they were to answer those 2 questions, they would go on to the bonus round. But if they couldn't, the player who missed their question goes back up to the gallery and play continues as normal. So we go to the bonus round, and in the bonus round, one member of the winning team was shown a series of answers. Jim would then ask the beginning of a question. The first player would have to complete the question, after which the other player would try to answer it. After each answer, a pass, or if the questioner gave away the answer or the essence of the answer, in which case you would hear a cuckoo, the team moved on to the new answer. Each correct answer was worth $100 split between the players. Getting 10 correct answers in 60 seconds wins $10,000 split between the two of them. In any event, they do get $1,000 for winning the game. And at the end of the show, anybody who had won money would chart up how much they won that day. And that was important theoretically, because at the end of the Friday show, the player with the most money would return next week and face 9 new challengers. And that's the game. If they do it right, they can fit 2 games into a half hour, which is par for the course for a Bob and Sandy Stewart production, I think. With the exception of Chain Reaction, which gets 1 game per half hour. NBC took one look at the pilot and passed on it. What would be the slot for it if they ultimately decided to go for this? Because it was shot in October, from what I understand, and the December 82 schedule looked like this. Facts of Life at 10, Wheel of Fortune at 10:30, Texas at 11, The Doctors at noon, Search for Tomorrow at 12:30, Days of Our Lives, Another World, and then at 3 o'clock, Fantasy, with Peter Marshall and Fallout's Leslie Uggams.
Wait a minute, you mentioned Leslie Uggams, huh?
Uh-huh.
Hey, I heard she's going to be in a certain movie next month.
With Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman?
Yeah. Huh. You know, that's the second time this week we've mentioned Ryan Reynolds.
Why, on this particular day, at this particular juncture, at this particular time of the year, would we mention Ryan Reynolds?
Well, you know, guys, I have a sudden strange urging to play chess all of a sudden.
Can I drum you up a Finnish exchange student?
I got that joke. Now, hold on, guys. This is funny. I played on YouTube some of the, they had like all 4 intros from 15. And this is like the first comment you see on YouTube. Okay. You want to see this in the chat?
Billy is terrible at playing the drums. Not wrong.
I can't wait to talk about that.
I'm looking at the daytime TV schedule archive, and by the end of 1982, they would have gotten rid of Texas. And they would have gotten rid of the Doctors. So they needed to replace that with new programming. 3 shows would have premiered that January. We covered all of them on a single episode of this podcast.
Go back to episode 337. Chico's referring to the day that Hitman and Sale of the Century and Just Men premiered, and also a little racing game called Plinko. There were time slots available in late 82, early 83. Sale of the Century, I think that was bound to get on. There's no way it was not getting on. Just Men and Hitman, they're expendable. Is Twisters better than either one of them? Maybe Just Men, but also at the same time, Just Men was getting that female demographic by having a whole bunch of male celebrities playing, so maybe it's just a wash there? I don't know.
And besides that, are you honestly going to say no to Betty White?
You can. With all due respect, she wasn't the big superstar that she turned out to be until reasonably 2.5 years later with Golden Girls. So, yeah, I don't think it's a given. You know, can you turn down Betty White? I would say yes, but also at the same time, you know, I get that maybe the optics with Alan Ludden dying about 1.5 years earlier, that may not look so good.
Now, hold on a second. You know who should have turned down Betty White? That person she banged to death on Golden Girls that one episode.
NBC took one look. This pilot was supposed to replace 1/2 hour of Texas, which would have been coming to an end. They chose ultimately to give the slot to Hitman and Just Men. But Jim Perry was not done at NBC because he would be tapped almost immediately to host Sale of the Century earlier that morning. So it worked out for everybody. Some interesting notes here. The bonus round would later be used for another Bob Stewart pilot called $50,000 a minute. And a theme song that you heard at the top of the show would be used as the theme song to both 80s versions of Jackpot.
And I gotta say, that theme song is awesome.
Bob Cobert can write a theme song.
And it's on the first GSN CD.
There was a couple more music tracks used. When you slid the puck on the shuffleboard, you notice how they used the sort of chain reaction commercial bed? That's actually a track called Through Train that was also a Bob Cobert joint. Not only was it used on Chain Reaction, it was also used on Super Train.
Because everything comes back to Super Train at some point. Everything comes back to Keenan Wynn. Hold on a second, guys. I think it's time to make another episode, Mike, of your amazing discoveries.
Now here's the host of Amazing Discoveries, Mike
Klaus.
And Greg Diener. Hey, Greg, I hear you have an amazing discovery you want to share with the audience.
That's right, guys. Now, I just mentioned Keenan Wynn. Now, I just got the Disney Movie Club Blu-ray of Herbie Rides Again, featuring Keenan Wynn as Alonzo P. Hawk. But that's not the best part about this. I discovered something amazing that I didn't even realize. Now, when I watched Herbie Rides Again as a kid, now, Chica, you've seen Herbie Rides Again, right?
I love Herbie Rides Again. What are you talking about?
Do you remember the scene where Ken Berry and Stephanie Powers and Herbie encounter the Red Knight?
I do remember that scene.
Nobody can beat the Red Knight. That was like one of my favorite things. But I discovered something amazing. You know who played the Red Knight in Herbie Rides Again?
Keenan Wynn?
No, he's already in the movie, silly.
Oh, sorry.
Rod McCary. That's right, folks. Rod McCary played the Red Knight in Herbie Rides Again. So not only do you get it was a thing on TV Hall of Famer Keenan Wynn, you get Rod McCary as the Red Knight.
Who may be making a case, and second week in a row we've mentioned Rod McCary.
I'm pretty sure there's more Rod McCary out there.
But what else do we have to say about Twisters? Well, it had Shuffleboard, had Jim Perry, but NBC couldn't pick this up. And so in 1982, this unfortunately almost became a thing on TV. Sad.
But you know what did make the 1983 NBC schedule?
Oh, yeah.
Of course, it took a while, but it finally meant there. Hit the theme music, please.
Hold on, I'm actually trying to see if Rod McCary's coming up in anything in the future.
So am I. Okay, he was in The Cool Kids.
Just Our Luck.
Just Our Luck.
Just Our Luck. Madam's Place.
Oh, yeah,
Sanford.
Right, yes.
Sanford, Carter Country. Oh, we're fast tracking him in there.
We are.
Yeah.
Okay, there's one title, and that will put him in the Hall of Fame. And all I can say is, I'm not saying that I'm going to pick Team Knight Rider as my Money in the Bank, but I'm also not saying it.
Okay, and also, since you mentioned it, Greg, he appeared on an episode of First and 10.
Oh, my God.
So he was on that $6.99 series DVD set somewhere. And he was in War. Wait. Stop. Pump the brakes. Beverly Hills Bunts. We're surely going to cover that.
We've already
One day-
covered it. No, I'm thinking
No,
of-
we never covered.
We never covered that.
Just remember, unsolved mysteries followed by Beverly Hills Butts.
I'm gonna put that on the schedule right now. If I can. Oh, there it is.
Wait a second.
Find a hole and plug it. I know.
Right in the butt.
That'd be in the butt, Bob.
No, you didn't see Wheel of Fortune last night.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah, I think I heard about this.
Yeah, the first puzzle comes on the board, and maybe about 3-4 letters pop up, and there's an exclamation mark as well. And guy buzzes in. He says, "Right in the butt." And Pat's like, "No." And then one of the contestants, "What are you thinking?" or something like that. You know, it's the new group of pill pushers. It was really an amazing moment.
That beats the time where the one during WWE week like a year or two ago they put on Brandon Reels answer the toss up with playing with balls, and Xavier Woods died laughing. As soon as the puzzle was solved, it's like, "Oh, you're in trouble." Xavier Woods is like, "What did I do?"
Oh, and also you should add the puzzle was this is the best. So yeah, how he got right in the butt, who knows?
I gotta say, what a great last series of shows for Pat to go out on. Right in the butt.
They're giving their all for you.
There were many people clutching their pearls after hearing that.
Oh, yeah. Suddenly, young Dolph Sweet doesn't sound so
Okay.
bad.
Oh, hey. Wait. Oh, wait. Don't Dolph Sweet. No. Okay. So yeah. We were gonna talk about Match Game Hollywood Squares Hour. Okay. Oh, Match Game Hollywood Squares Hour. This is too good. Talking about right in the butt. Right in the butt. Right in the butt. Not right up the.
You know what? We might as well all keep this in because we need to pad time.
I thought it was on CNN. I'm surprised it hasn't hit the rounds yet, but it's coming. That's not really something I should say with the puzzle right up the butt. Or right in the butt. Oh, my. Okay, yeah, let's actually get to Match Game Hollywood Squares Hour after this completely off-topic lunacy.
It's time for This Weekend Match Game. Hollywood Squares. Our history.
Hey, it's week 31, and we got a lot of returning people this week. We have, from a series that ended the previous year, Laverne and Shirley, we have David L. Lander. We have Aaron Moran from Happy Days, which it's in its final season at this point, and Lori Hendler, and Michael Winslow from a little movie called Police Academy. They've heard of it. And America's Sweetheart, Nidra Voles, and Mindy Cohn, and also from Laverne and Shirley, Eddie Mecca. He probably brought pizza for everybody. And then lastly, Linda Goodfriend, also from Happy Days.
Hey, we came to Hollywood. We got some pizza. Hey!
Oh, the pizza in LA, even though there's no good pizza in LA.
Hey, I had to bring some from out of town. Hey!
That's Eddie Mecca's legacy around here, folks. I'm sorry.
That one episode of It's Always Sunny that was a parody of $1 Billion Baby.
I just watched that episode, actually.
Nothing's more funnier than Eddie Mecca saying, "Don't get your..."
So anyhow, this week, we had a $10,000 win with John on Monday, but nobody won the big money the rest of the week. Yeah, quickie update. But next week, I think now we're getting to the era of Match Game Hollywood Squares where let's just find celebrities who want to fill the squares. Because looking at who's on next week, I think we got 2 people who haven't been on. Maybe 3, but I think one of them has been on. Definitely there's 2 who are new. Or at least 1. But yeah, you're going to see some familiar faces from previously on Match Game Hollywood Squares, but also from other shows in the past. So we're going to send it to Chico to close everything up.
will do it for 2024's pilot month. We've already begun work on 2025's pilot month. We're not going to tell you what's on the schedule, but there's something for everybody, I think. I think you're going to enjoy what we have in store next year. But in the meantime, if you want to go through any of the pilots or any episode that we did, they're all at itwasathingontv.com. You can stream on demand, any major streamer, Google, Apple, YouTube. We're on there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date with everything we've got going on, and also with all of our socials at It Was a Thing on TV, except for Facebook, It Was a Thing on TV podcast, except for Mastodon, where we are at It Was a Thing on TV at tvwatch.party.
And of course, the Friday drops on Play Swedish and Pop every week. But, okay, guys, now we're going to plug next week's show. But if you're listening to On Play Swedish and Pop, you're not going to get that episode in 2 weeks. And there's a reason why. Because next week, you're getting the Hall of Fame show. I put that off for a while. You're going to get the Hall of Fame show on Friday next week. But in 2 weeks, you're going to get the one we're doing on our Podbean feed next week and the one the week after.
Next week, we are actually beginning our summer schedule. So you're only going to get one episode a week. It's going to drop on Thursdays, but we're going to give that episode all of the love, all of the time, and all of the energy that we possibly can. We're going to give this everything we've got. Let's see what we have to cover. Oh, this is interesting. Let's just say there was a girl who could do anything except fly. So they made her fly. All of a sudden, it was a girl who could do anything except read minds. So they gave her the power to read minds. And somehow she's married to John Davidson.
Wait, who's she married to?
I'm sorry. Oh no, Greg.
I'm not going to repeat myself.
No, I'm going to say it then. John Davidson.
Yeah! Davidson!
I'm not going to repeat myself. That's why we have Shadow.
You know, I like that we're going to give it our best next week. Then we may also give it a little extra. And also, I just wonder if maybe John Davidson, when they were recording the first episode, he said, "We're going to be here for a very long time."
If you're watching us for the first time, maybe you don't know, this is our very first show, but we plan to be here for a very long time.
We're pulling out all the hits in the last minute of this episode.
I did say we're going to give this episode, this one episode that we're doing next week, everything we've got. And we're going to give it to you next week on It Was a Thing on TV. For Mike, for Greg, I'm Chico. Thank you ever so much for listening. Please be kind to one another, and we will see you for the next one.
Wow!
Our first toss-up is worth $1,000. Category is phrase, and off we go. Tavares.
Right in the butt?
What? No. Blake.
This is the best.
Yeah, that's it, I think, yeah.
Much better answer.
Blake gets $1,000.